So two aspects here. I had a lunch with Julius Malema, only one of only two times I've ever met him. It was in London, and he said something at the lunch that was fascinating, and I've said it a few times. He said, and this was 12 years ago, he said, BE is a joke. It's just enriching the people that really oughtn't to be enriched. What you should do, if you're going to give away a third of your business, is give it to your employees. Give it to your previously disadvantaged employees. Then they're aligned, they have a piece of the business, and you have the same goals. And I thought, 100% right. That's the intelligent way to do it. But yet, Mostin Goshang, Patrice Motsepe, all the boys get this. William Gumedi's amazing work, Professor William Gumedi, was on Black enrichment elite, the 100 people that took R1 trillion out of the economy. And I got interviewed by DJ Spoo. DJ Spoo interviewed me, and he ambushed me because as I sat down, he said, I've got a guest I've invited, Penwell. And I love the Black Pen, but he and I are having handbags at dawn at the moment because I called him a black racist on a Gareth Cliff show because he just goes all over the place. And he did say some very anti-white stuff, which I thought was inappropriate. And he's still very grumpy. Warren Stock was going to, have the sort of make-up sex meeting between us. Literally, figuratively. And Penn turned it down. He said he's still quite raw from the engagement. I mean, come on, Penn. Anyway, I got ambushed by DJ Spoo. But in that back and forward discussion, I said to them, do you still need BEE? And DJ Spoo said, yes. And I said, but it doesn't work. If we found a system that did work for broad-based, previously disadvantaged to uplift people, how long do you still need that for? And he said, for as long as possible. So there's still that sort of entitlement view, like we can't compete view from some people, like DJ Spoo. He doesn't think he can compete. And it's very sad. You think after 30 years, of apartheid being gone and not just an even playing field, and a playing field that's definitely favoring not the white guys, he still can't compete. And I just think there's something wrong if that's the case. So those are the 2 points I wanted to make.
And just from my side, before I get to Kutle, there's a clear indication that, people consistently say that broad-based Black economic empowerment and the 145 race-based laws is to redress and transform South Africa. But my question is, where is the redress? Where is the transformation? We have the higher unemployment rate now than at the height of apartheid. We've got more race-based legislation now than at the heart of apartheid. And that is not me condoning apartheid. That's saying we had a terrible system and we are doing worse than that terrible system. So, Kutle, what's your take on this?
Well, I think the best place to start from has to be looking at, firstly, just understanding no amount of social engineering leads to prosperity. I just need to be very clear on this. BEE was not invented in South Africa. The idea of BEE actually a country called Malaysia when they had their new economic policy. That was after they gained independence rather from the Brits. And that was during a period where Singapore, which also used to be part of Malaysia at a point in time, decided to go the other way and say, we are going to open up the market. We are going to be free market. This was done by Lee Kuan Yew, for those that don't know. We're going to open up the market. We're going to make it accessible for both locals and foreigners to trade and to grow the Singaporean economy. Whereas Malaysia said, F that, we will think like the ANC. Well, actually, the ANC thought like the Malaysians, rather. And they said, we will focus more on ethnic groups and how does social engineering work. The bottom line is no amount of BEE will ever solve Black inequality, if there is such a thing. Let's look at BEE for what it is. It has resulted, according to Professor William Gumede from his BEE report in the year 2008 and 9, he said that BEE has resulted in 100 elite politically connected families benefiting close to 1 trillion rand. It has also resulted in the loss of 4 million jobs. Understand this? 4 million jobs. 4 million jobs, which most of them happen to be Black people. The same people it was meant to benefit. I mean, I can't make this stuff up, but that's the ANC for you. Let's look at the new BEE legislation, which actually the new amendment rather that came in this year, which speaks of how your company should reflect the social makeup of the country. Now, and I spoke about this on Johan Ellis's platform a few weeks ago. I said to him, we did a study, I did a study, my show 10 Minutes with Kuhle, as well as my own party, Democratic Alliance, did do a study. And we found out that about 220,000 white males in Gauteng alone will lose their jobs because of this new amendment to the BEE legislation. And let me explain what that means. And this is...
Give me that number again. Kuhle, what? Give me the number again.
220,000 white males in Gauteng alone. We're not even counting the females, or women rather. We're just counting men in Gauteng alone. Now, understand what does the new BEE amendment or legislation state. Now, I'm going to explain this using maths. Let's say I've got a company, and for the sake of making things a bit more simpler to understand, I've got 10 employees. Out of those 10 employees, I've got 5 white guys, I've got 2 black dudes, and maybe 3 Indians. The new BEE amendment states that there needs to be an alignment to the country's social makeup or racial makeup. That would mean I would need to get rid of at least 4 of those 5 white guys. Or I must hire more people. That means I must hire more black people. It's either I get rid of the white guys or I just hire more black people. Now, I'll get rid of the 4 white guys. I would have to at least get about a minimum of 7 black people. A minimum of 7 black people. And at least maybe 1 Indian, 1 colored, and 1 white person. And then your business would be BEE compliant. And mind you, if you're not compliant with this, whether you want the BEE certificate or you don't want the BEE certificate, it is said that the government will still take a percentage of your profits that you make. So the government is forcing businesses to comply with a ridiculous legislation. It is outright ridiculous. I mean, no matter how you view it, I always ask people on the streets, I say to them, especially black South Africans, I ask them, I say, you defend BEE. What have you benefited from BEE as we speak? Many of them can't even answer. You are unemployed. You sit in the township. You are waiting for a 350 grant from Ramaphosa. The bottom line is you have become slaves of the state. Black people are becoming slaves of the government. You've got to look at it. The numbers say it for themselves. You are born into a poor township family. You need to get an RDP. That is the government. And you're going to say, thank you, ANC, for my tin house. I've got an RDP. After that, because your parents can't afford food, you go to school and you're on some nutrition program that has got a tender body that does not deliver food at times, sometimes does not even deliver the correct meals. This is the process of being a black child, so-called BEE system, right? It does not deliver the correct meals through the government education. Cool, you're done. Now it's time for you to go to varsity. Oh gosh, because you went to a cuck school, you didn't do maths and science, chances are now you're going to become studying music or, I don't know, art at varsity. You aren't even going to match what the economy wants or what the market wants. And you are using our tax money through NSFAS. You don't even pay back NSFAS. The bottom line is it's the government that has programmed black people. And I'm going to be very sorry to say this. The government has programmed black people to think that everything's for free. There's NSFAS, there's SASSA grants, there's BEE. Everything's for free. You don't have to pay for everything. You don't have to. I'm sorry, I'm just a bit emotional about this.